Welcome back to Yard Dog Digest. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about EV componentry, and what you'll find out is there's a lot more to making this thing go than just a motor and some batteries. We've seen a huge spike in demand for EV terminal tractors, and some of that's driven by compliance, other by personal decarbonization goals. To help us dive in a little bit more deeply, we've brought in Ariane Barnard, who's an EV engineer here at our Hagerstown production facility. Ariane, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, Matt.
So I'm familiar with, we plug the charger in here, that's going to charge the batteries. We use a CCS1, but tell me about what happens from the batteries to get to the rest of the components.
Yeah, so we got a charge port right here. If we plug in the truck, it goes to the PDU. The PDU will control the power distribution to all the high voltage components on the truck.
So PDU is power distribution unit?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
The S-Box is integral to that.
And the S-Box is this black box right here?
Little black box right here.
Okay, so what are all the components that it's thermally managing? Is it just the batteries?
No, we got heat pumps on this, we got coolant pumps, various different high voltage components that needs thermal management. Like you can get a 100-degree day and you can get a in the minus day, and the S-Box needs to manage all of that. So that's how integral that part is.
Now, does that include making the operator comfortable, or is that a separate system?
It is to make the operator more comfortable, and if there's any work required on high voltage components, we got 2 MSDs on the S-Box. It needs to be disconnected at first, leave the trucks for about 15 minutes to have all the high voltage components discharge. Performs the same function, but this is a high voltage component. The transmission is connected to an engine. Where we have our engine on a diesel truck, we have the cradle. And like you mentioned earlier, this is part of what is assembled in Birmingham and then shipped to Autocar Hagerstown.
Just like our engines?
Just like our engines.
Okay, and then a lot of the components like the cab tilt pumps here, that looks the same. Shocks are obviously the same, hydraulic. Yes. So a lot of that shares the same part numbers with diesel probably, right?
Yes, exact same part numbers. What we've done essentially is just rip the engine and transmission out of a diesel and put in EV components.
Okay. So Ariane, you can see this PDU is not in the way here, so we can see the cradle a little bit better. So can you kind of talk me through, in this assembly, the cradle assembly we put together in Birmingham, what do we have at each kind of level of it?
Yeah, so the cradle was designed with serviceability in mind. So starting at the bottom layer, you've got your heat pumps, that's accessed from from the underside. That is protected by a shield. And then you got your inverters and converters in the center levels. And then as you can see here on the top, you got your vehicle controllers and then also your fuse boxes. Okay. And the fuse boxes are fairly easily accessible from the back of the cab.
Okay, so yeah, definitely built with the technician in mind. How about the driver? I know you're not out there every day, but what kind of, with the vehicles we've got out there, what kind of feedback have you heard so far?
So far, really good. The number one thing, no sound like you have in a diesel truck. You don't have to shout on each other. And then also the drivability. The mirrors don't rattle. You don't have all the shaking that you would have of a regular diesel truck. So overall, I think pretty good.
All right, well, hey, thanks, Ariane.
My pleasure.
A lot of new information, a lot of new componentry. This is all new for all of us. Glad to have your background to help us through it.
My pleasure.
So thanks for watching. Please continue to follow for more videos. Please send us any suggestions you have to include in our next series. And don't forget to like and subscribe.